Hi everybody and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are as always your hosts ARNE and CARLOS. Today we are upstairs and we are going to give you a guided tour of our library, which we have a lot of here in this house. We have loads and loads of bookshelves full of books, and we're going to give you a little tour and show you some of the kinds of books that we have in our bookshelves.
Yes, but first we have to say something very important.
And get the formalities out of the way.
Yeah, and that is like if you like the video, put your thumb up. If you don't, put your thumb down. Remember to subscribe and put on your notifications.
Yeah, there we have it. Formalities are out of place now. We have a lot of bookshelves in this house. We have a lot of books. Our books are different categories. We've got novels that we read. We love reading when we're on our travels, like sitting on a plane. There's nothing better than reading a book. And the books we like, Arne, what do we do with them?
The books we like, we keep them in another room, in another house. So they go into a bookshelf
So
where we have like the good books.
Yeah, we have a little guest house and we put all the books that we read and like there. All the novels that we, Freya's having fun here.
Yeah. If there's some books we don't like and we think we will never read them again, we put them in our Volkswagen when we go on trips in the summer, and then we leave them in hotels.
Yeah.
Because there are bookshelves in hotels.
So that's novels and things like that. Interesting books on facts. We have quite a few of those as well where we just read. A lot of people ask us what are our favorite books from other designers in our niche or in our field, and we have to be very honest and say that we don't collect or read books from our colleagues. It's not interesting to us to see what other people are doing. We want to do our own thing. We want to do it our own way. Therefore, you will never find knitting books from other knitting designers here.
If we have some, it's probably one or two like a gift.
Yeah, given to us as gifts, and then they ended up in our bookshelf.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of very interesting books in our bookshelf, and we wanted to share a few of them with us. So I picked 3. And Arne picked 3, and then we picked 1 as a bonus to show you. And they are kind of spread in different fields. So do you want to start with one of your books?
I pick one. I like this one, but I can't pronounce because this is English. No, French, sorry.
Well, it says folk toys.
Yeah.
Les jouets populaires. So it means the popular toys in French.
So this one is, I think this is really nice. This is from a flea market in, where was that?
No. This is from the Vintage Bookstore in Washington.
In Washington,
D.C. Secondhand books or Second Story or something like that. Freya, there's a moose. Is there a moose, Freya?
So, but what we really like the most is the colorful pages like this.
Yeah, very nice.
We find this very interesting. There's a lot of inspiration both for patterns and color combinations in these old toys. This is one of my favorite, and I like to just to look at it sometimes.
Yeah, it's great.
It's beautiful. And look at the dolls.
Very nice. Okay, so shall I do one?
Yeah, this is a good one.
We get a lot of books on traditional folk costumes. Actually, not only from Norway. Wherever we go in the world, we look for a book on the country's folk costumes. It's a great way to get to learn something about a culture by looking at their textile traditions. So that is very, very important to us. But I want to lift up one book that I find is something that I love looking at. And again, it's an old antiquarian book that we got. Do you remember where we got this one?
I think that came from Antiquarium in Oslo.
Yes, and the title is a little bit washed out, but I can see it says Norwegian folk costumes, but it's actually written in Danish.
Yeah, norske folkedrakter.
Yes,
yeah.
So it's the Danish spelling of folk costumes, but it's a Norwegian book. This one is really nice, and we have to be a little bit careful because it is a little old, so if I open it up, maybe Arne, you can flip the pages.
Yeah. What we find very interesting with this book is that you can't hardly... This is from 1913. It's made in Christiania in Oslo. And when you look at the pictures of
the colored pictures are so nice.
Of the folk costumes, this is not how a folk costume look today.
No.
So this is a very fun
Pictures are beautiful, or the little drawings.
Like
quite nice.
Like this dress, there's no folk costume with a
But it's
dress
beautiful. I love it.
But it's really nice. We like to look at these pictures.
And apparently it has belonged to a family with kids.
Yeah.
And the kids have played around with pens and scribbled on the book. But it's a very beautiful book. We open it quite often and look at these lovely little drawings to get inspiration and ideas. So this is a great,
It's really nice.
little book. One of our favorites in our library.
And very different from the other folk costume books we have. Then I will show you this one. This is nice. And again, it's
yes.
in French.
So again, we are still with the folk costumes and textile and garments. This one is called the Encyclopédie de l'ornement, l'art populaire en Europe. So it is the encyclopedia of ornamental art or popular ornamental art in Europe. So it's about clothing and textiles and all sorts of beautiful things.
So here you have different weavings from Sweden and Denmark. On this page you have woven fabrics from, or can you call it fabrics? It's like
textiles. We can call
tapestry.
it woven. Then if it's tapestry, you can call it textiles, and then you get everything.
All these are Norwegian, and there's a lot of inspiration in this, which we can use both in knitting and embroidery.
But it's Norwegian and then European.
Yeah. So this is Norwegian and Swedish mittens.
Yes. And we learn a lot about looking at these pictures and then comparing them with articles we find in museums.
Denmark and Norway. It's really nice. And there's also, like, let me see, there are also there's more embroidery, but you also have wood carving and rose paintings.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from the Netherlands and the Belgium.
Yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, ornamental art from Europe.
It's a very nice book. This one we found in the second-hand store, or what you call that, like in Naples. No, in Florence.
Yes.
It's a second-hand shop for books. It's really
very nice. So my turn. Yep. My turn. Yeah, we're still gonna stick around here, I think. I like this book a lot. Again, there's a lot of inspiration in a book like this. This is a Norwegian book. It's called Norges Lover. It means Norway's barns. And it was written by Eva Røyrane and Oddleif Apneset, who was the photographer. And I really love this book because it shows us, the variety of barns that are found in Norway. And it's always nice to look at the houses, and I love looking at all the little detail, the way they've been constructed. Sometimes they have been decorated, and I love these kind of pictures of wood like that. It's a very charming book, as you can see. And all kinds of architecture as well, very interesting. Nice color combinations to look at, the red barns with the blue doors, for example.
It's a really fun project.
It's a fun project, and also it inspires us when we are here in the house and, thinking up new ideas for our studio that we're renovating and building now. It's always nice to look at these pictures here and get some inspiration. I love these doors, for example. And I mean, this could be something that could be used in a design at some point somehow. So yeah, very fun book. Loads of barns here.
Yeah,
so
that's a really nice one.
It's a favorite one of mine.
And then my last book.
Oh yeah.
This time.
3 each.
Or this one. We have a whole bunch of these. These are Haute Couture drawings from 1951. We have a lot of these books, and they are very inspiring for us. They actually came from a seamstress studio somewhere in Norway. So she made her notes in the book. But the fun thing is that they ordered this from Paris, I guess, and then by just looking at the drawing, the sketch and the figurine, they made the clothes for the clients. So here's Mrs. something and her measurements. So she had this one. So we have a lot of these croquis, and we found them very inspiring. And we used them more when we worked in the fashion industry.
Mm-hmm.
We don't use them as much now since we're in the knitting world and the crochet world.
But it's always fun to open these and flick
Because
through
they're
the pages.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
So this is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
One of many.
So my turn again, huh? I think, do we need to move a little bit forward? Let me see if I can find the book that I wanted to talk about. Where was it? I put it. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Yes. So this is a Japanese book. It's called Nuit Projects 2. And this book is connected with a visit we did in 2015 when we were in Kagoshima in the south of Japan, in Kyushu Island. We went and we visited a place it was a collective of people living there. Many great artists, but all of them had some sort of a challenge to them. They were maybe autistic or they had some mental illness. But the way they were treated there was very beautiful, and they were allowed to be very creative. So I remember particularly the guy that made the most beautiful textiles by just tying knots, and he tied knots on everything. And he was
really
allowed to do
nice.
whatever he wanted there. There were no limitations. And some of these people were world-renowned artists, and they didn't even care about the money. All they cared about was creation. And it was incredible to see a place like that where people who are maybe not like you and me, but who are still able to have a safe place to be, where they can also be as creative they want to be, and they can be themselves without the outside world judging them. I really love that.
And some of the pieces they make, it's really
Again, this
art.
was a little bit difficult to flick through because it's a soft cover, but they have collected a series of projects from the people there.
So this is just free embroidery.
Yeah, textile art.
I think it was a lady. She got like old blouses, and she just made embroidery on top of the blouses. And it's like they transformed totally, and they were so beautiful.
Incredibly beautiful pictures as well. Very inspiring for us. These people are liberated. They don't have any sense of any, what's right, what's wrong. They just do what they want, and they do it from the heart. And it's very admirable. Sometimes I really wish we could work like this, because this is incredible and very inspiring.
Actually, after we came back from there, I took some old shirts and I tried just to see if it worked. And it's really hard, because you have to think out of the box. You have to free your mind in a way and just do it. And that is really hard when you're used to working from patterns, or you have all these rules.
I love this.
Look at this. This is really,
it's like scribbled,
really
right? But it's done with thread. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. Look at this. It's just incredibly beautiful, the way they have manipulated, or she has manipulated the blouses.
And if you're ever in Kagoshima, was it?
Kagoshima,
there's a shop. You can go there and you can buy
the things they
make. Because it's really nice.
Very beautiful, and definitely one of our favorite books to flick through. Okay, Arne, and then we had a final one.
Yeah,
which is a bonus. Hang on, let me just put this back. Where was it?
Somewhere. It doesn't matter. We have to look for it later anyway, because we never remember. So it's this one. This is from the garden trip we did was it in June?
In August
last year.
We visited Highgrove, the home of the Prince of Wales, and his amazing garden. Actually, we didn't visit his home, just the garden. It made a long-lasting impression on us.
Yeah.
We love his garden. And an interesting side fact, the author of the book is none other than Bunny Guinness. It might not ring a bell with you guys, but Arne and I had dinner with Bunny Guinness on your 50th birthday.
Yeah, in England we went to this hotel and they had a garden evening.
With her, yes.
She came to talk.
So it was like a dinner, and it was a set dinner, and guests from the hotel and people from the village had joined. And we listened to Bunny tell us a lot of stories. She is a very important journalist in the UK when it comes to gardens and things. She wrote the book.
And she actually told us that when she was younger, she lived not far from here. She stayed for a while in Norway. So it was fun when we found the book and we saw her name.
Yeah.
It's like, we know her a little bit.
So I've been very obsessed with this book because it shows Highgrove House and it's garden in all different seasons, and it tells us a little bit about what's in bloom every season or every month. So it's a very nice book. We really like it a lot.
It's one of the most interesting garden books we have in our bookshelves. So this is it's really nice.
Let's jump a little bit and do some photos from summer. There you go.
There's a big one.
We're going to be visiting Highgrove House again in June, and we're looking forward to seeing it in the pre-summer.
So if you ever have a
way.
chance, you should go and see this garden. It's really nice. So this is a very important book in the bookshelf.
So those are a few of our books, but we have a lot of books here. Looking at this, we've got books on gardening, we've got books on fashion, we've got books on architecture, we have books on art, we have, of course, novels, we have factual books. There is so much
And
to
there's
see
more
here.
in the other room,
And there's more in the other
downstairs.
room, and then there's more downstairs.
But we should bring it up here if you want to show it.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the bookshelf.
So I think we have the potential of starting a new mini-series that we could call Inspiration from Our Bookshelf. I don't know if you guys like the title. If you do like the title, let us know. And also let us know if we should do more of these, if you feel inspired, and if you would like to know more about books.
Yeah, and also please let us know if you have any books you will recommend.
Yeah.
If there's a books on gardening or arts and crafts that we really need to have in our library, please let us know, because we are always looking for new books.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take pictures of the covers and we're going to post them on our blog for you to see. The ones that are possible to purchase, we will put a link to where you can buy it. But of course, the old full costume book from the 1930s and the one with the, a couple of the ones Arne showed, they are from antiquarian bookstores. We don't know where you can find them, but I'm sure if you Google them, you could find some.
But sometimes
copies.
you might get lucky and you can find them on eBay or some places, if you're lucky.
So anyway, we're hoping to get some good feedback from you guys so that we can do more episodes from our bookshelf. Put the feedback in the comments field below. And thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this little time with us here next to our bookshelf. And we look forward to seeing you again next Sunday at 6 p.m. Central European Time, as always. Bye.